Hey YouTube, welcome to my channel, Mr. Matt Makes. This will be the first episode, and today we're going to cover, as you can see on my handy dandy whiteboard, the camping trailer that has been a build for about the last 11 months. Picked this trailer up off of Marketplace. It was a 5x8 tilt utility trailer originally. It has been changed. I did a really horrible job welding to keep it from tilting, but it has been welded upper and lower and then painted across to hopefully not rust. It just helps keep the trailer a little more stable while we're underway. The first edition was the toolbox. This is a Harbor Freight toolbox. Tongue box. They're pretty cheap to pick up. They are lockable, great for storing just your general tool items, air compressor, miscellaneous tools, traction boards, parking blocks, just tools you need. Level for when we get camped and parked, and we can make sure the trailer is level. The jack up front was your standard trailer jack with a foot, but it was bent up and torn up, so I actually cut it off. Drilled a hole, added the wheel. There's a foot in the toolbox as well, so when we get the trailer set up and located where we want, we take the wheel off, put the jack foot on, and that goes on the parking block, and then we're set. The cargo bag itself, this bag is for a hitch carrier, so the hitch carriers that will mount to the back of your car, these are the cargo bags that go on top of that. The only thing that I did different was I built a small 1-inch wooden frame inside of it to hold the shape, so it wouldn't collapse every time you take gear out of it. This holds the majority of our camping gear: chairs, pop-up tent, the honey bucket that goes inside the pop-up tent, space heater, parking blocks, poles for the awning, additional poles for the awning, tables, med/first aid bin, just the stuff that we want to keep dry. This bag is waterproof and lockable, and not horribly expensive, and again, really tough, and has worked great for storing our gear. I do have a strap holding it in place just so it doesn't flop around and move, but as of now it stores almost everything that we need as far as just general gear to keep out of the weather and the elements. The tent upright, this is a ladder rack that came off of Amazon. They are pretty readily available. You can probably buy them locally. I wanted this one because it's aluminum, so from a weight perspective, it's probably a third of the weight of a steel one. It also had slightly wider cross beams, so these cross beams are a full 65 inches, which in theory, if that was on top of a truck bed, obviously that'd be pretty wide. But I used the full width here. As you can see, the awning is outboard of the passenger side. The tent is almost all the way, actually does overhang on the driver's side. This is so that when we put the annex room on, it actually comes down just outside the fender. Otherwise, if we had it inboard, the annex room would hit the fender and you lose about a foot of your annex room. The spare tire mount itself was off of Amazon. It is welded onto the trailer, if you can see here. That just keeps it from being a little less shaky. It was a bolt-on style, but since I have a welder, I welded it in place to make it a little more solid. Added a few lights to the trailer for additional visibility. This one unfortunately is now blocked by the spare tire. I replaced the original lights. They were on really flimsy thin tabs here. One was broken, one was bent, so I cut them off, sanded that down and painted it. Added the marine lights here. They are LED and waterproof, so double the size, probably 2 or 3 times the brightness, as well as additional LED lights here on the back by the tailgate. The tailgate itself is just a piece of lumber from Home Depot. It was just cut and some cheap handles added to it to take it on and off. The favorite part is the turtle bottle opener. So that's the piece de resistance. This steel brace is just a piece of angle iron that was cut and drilled. It actually just keeps the trailer from flexing with the weight of the tent and the awning. There was some flex when going off rough roads, so added this not too long ago, and it's been a great addition. The trailer jacks, Harbor Freight specials, you can get a pair of them for about 80 bucks. we can lift up to, with the blocks underneath, almost 26 inches of lift. So I don't know why you would want to lift your trailer that high, but if you needed to, you can get quite a bit of clearance out of those. Had to do a little research, wasn't sure what size we needed, but turns out the 2.5 ton jacks will give you almost 24 inches of lift without a block. Inside the trailer, we have a 3,500 watt generator. Obviously the gas can there, as Rotopax. The generator is just to power the recharge the battery packs we use. So almost everything that we run is on a battery pack if it's electrical. Everything that's not electrical obviously runs either on A, propane there, or B, the diesel heater here. So diesel heater here is an H calorie, I think it's 8,000 BTUs, which is a tremendous amount of heat if you're in a tent. But this tank that's on here, as well as the gas can there, is worth 3 nights of heating without having to get fuel again. The generator will run about 12 hours on a tank at a quarter load, which is more than enough to charge those batteries. All of our batteries are quick charge. They all charge within probably 2 hours. The Blackstone there is what we use for the primary cooking. There is a separate cook stove that will use propane. So if we don't want to set the Blackstone up quick meal, we can grab the propane cooktop that's in the storage bag. These 2 knobs are actually for a small table to bolt onto here that the propane stove can sit on. The water jugs are just cheap water jugs you can buy at Walmart, Lowe's, Home Depot, anywhere, or Amazon. These are 2 6-gallon jugs. That's a 7-gallon jug there. Total carrying capacity is 19 gallons, which will buy you pretty much close to a full week of water if you are off-grid. This was just a simple, cheap, welded tray from Angle Iron, painted, and the bungees were added just to keep the tanks from falling off. Other than that, the bins themselves are from Lowe's. These were, I think, $11 each. They are waterproof, which is great. When the lids are snapped on, you can either bungee them down or tie them down, strap them down. They have the holes, which is nice. I can run straps through here and keep them from moving around on the trailer, as well as keep the lids on tight. So this is the majority of the trailer. We will do some more updates and reviews on the actual camping equipment once we get out. 3-week trip coming up to Yellowstone, as well as Grand Tetons. Everything on the trailer is lockable. So Rotopax mounts are lockable. The toolbox is lockable. I've got a lock for the trailer, as well as there's a small lock that comes with this bag. Not that it's going to stop anybody, but it keeps me from being nosy. More to come as the trip progresses and we get to our destination, so stay tuned.